come on, be honest. You knew Darwin Núñez was destined to miss for sure. I mean, with the seasons that he's had with Liverpool, I actually cannot believe he was selected as a penalty taker. Not even that, he was selected as the second penalty taker after Salah. To make matters worse, the last penalty I remember from Darwin Núñez is the miss that he had against Chelsea. I just thought that maybe that's poor selection of penalty takers for Liverpool. You can't go with Salah first, who is your best. That's normally who you go with, right? You go with your first best three penalty takers all the time now in modern football. You remember even when Ronaldo during the World Cup went to take the penalty number 5, he didn't even get there, or during the Euros. So, for example, those are lessons learned for modern football where your best penalty takers go first. If you look at the World Cup, Messi and Mbappe went first. You know, Salah went first, but then you go with your best penalty takers first, and I'm not sure Darwin Núñez is Liverpool's best penalty taker. Curtis Jones also missed his penalty, and the thing is, you cannot take anyone that's lacking in confidence to go face Donnarumma, who's a monster of a keeper. He's an absolute giant, and he's also one of the very best at saving penalties. He saved Italy during the Euro 2020 final and knocked England out after he saved 3 penalties on the biggest stage. So I don't know, I'm not sure about Liverpool's penalty takers in that situation. You still had Dominic Szoboszlai, still had McAllister. Let them hit a strike. They're good strikers of the ball. Trent Alexander-Arnold was at least off, so we know he couldn't take a penalty. But you know, what about Gakpo? I don't know. I was not sure about Liverpool's penalty takers. Yeah, and at the end of the day, Liverpool get eliminated by PSG. It was 1-1, like I said. Overall, PSG lost the first leg, but they were clearly the better team, and they showed up big time at Anfield. I do think at Anfield, Liverpool were the better team in the 90 minutes. I think PSG had better chances in extra time as well. But overall, you would say the better team went through. I think overall, based on the balance of play, I would be happy to say that the better team went through. PSG, with their firepower, their pace, were always looking scary. I think if Bradley Barcola has a little bit of better end product, then PSG were going to be more of a threat. However, Liverpool definitely had their chances in these games. They hit the post, you know, so I think Liverpool at Anfield, they showed up much better than they did in Paris. However, Liverpool's midfield, I think, was dominated by PSG. That PSG midfield looks perfectly balanced and they look good for each other. Vitinha was absolutely amazing. I don't think I've seen a better game from Vitinha all my life. He was handling pressure so well. João Neves gets around, he literally puts it on tackle and he runs the field, right? And he's also a good complement in that PSG midfield for Vitinha as well. So I just thought PSG's midfield was absolutely outstanding and they play great football. Luis Enrique has them ticking. It was very scary to note what Luis Enrique and the PSG players were saying all week, even after losing the first leg. Liverpool, you know, they had Southampton at home, they beat them, but PSG rested all their players in the weekend just for this tie, and it's paid off in a way. They've definitely shown up for this, and you could hear Luis Enrique being asked difficult questions in the press conferences before the game, and he said yes, we will be the first team that knocks Liverpool out after they have a 1-0 away lead, taking it back to Anfield. I don't believe that's ever happened in Liverpool's European career. The players also were indicating that they want to get to Anfield and dominate and show up. I'm not sure if they dominated per se. I do think on the night it was much tighter. However, on the balance of play overall, based on Alisson's performances, I do think PSG were the better team and they go through. I think the craziest part of this is the fact that Donnarumma was terrible for me in this tie. We know he was at fault in the first leg for the goal. I think he should have definitely saved Harvey Elliott's shot. And in this game, he was just so erratic. He was just punching every single thing. Someone said it looks like he's a volleyball player. He couldn't really give stability to PSG. You can't trust him and he can't kick whatsoever. And it's so shocking for a ball-playing manager to have Donnarumma as a keeper. So Donnarumma believers in 2025, I am not too sure about that because I was not convinced of his performances at all. He was a horrible distributor of the ball as well. However, He is a great penalty saver, and he's come through for PSG. He's come clutch again in a penalty shootout. Another thing to say is that Nuno Mendes dealt with Salah so perfectly over the both legs. I do think Salah, in the first 10 minutes of this tie, he had the better of Nuno Mendes. In the first 10 minutes, Salah, was looking good. You thought he'd have a good game, but he didn't also take his chance. He just hit it wide, and I thought that was a good chance based on Salah's standards, which could have given Liverpool the lead. You miss your chance, the other team in football goes to the other side and they score, and that's exactly what happened. The goal, Konate does put a tackle in. He was a little bit late in tracking back, but I don't necessarily know why Alisson is coming, because it doesn't look like he'll get there. The only thing I'd say is maybe Konate should get a better clearance out, make sure that it goes out for a corner or goes wide. Don't just put in a slide tackle there. But Dembele has the easiest of tappings for the goal. So I do think Alisson did make a great save from Dembele in extra time, had some great blocks by Gravenberch on Kvaratskhelia shot. I just think PSG were growing into the game after that first goal that they had. Right, so even this, let's say, loose touch by Dembele that gave the ball to Alisson when he could have just rolled it for Bacola or taken a shot, that was a huge chance for PSG. But unfortunately, it doesn't come through. Liverpool had their good chances. Van Dijk's header was blocked. Salah's almost goal was cleared off the line by Kvaratskhelia as well, who worked very hard. And also, Liverpool hit the post, on multiple occasions, and the other one was offside. I thought Trent was looking extremely dangerous when he was playing through the middle, and Liverpool should have been doing that the whole game. But obviously, you had to be wary of PSG's counterattack. So it was a beautiful football game. It was a beautiful football tie, and I just enjoyed it. We were in for a treat, but I think Liverpool fans knew you had to be careful. I mean, fair play to Liverpool. They showed up in the Champions League. I think the luck of the draw wasn't kind to Liverpool. After finishing top of a 36-team league, they get one of the best teams in the competitions. Yes, it doesn't seem like it because, they started off very badly. So you could say that that's what it threw up. But I think getting PSG was unlucky for Liverpool, and now they are knocked out. That can't be their reward for dominating the Champions League like they did. That's really, really unfair. Arsenal get PSV, Inter Milan get Feyenoord. That's really not good. It doesn't look good for Champions League's new format. That's what happened. I would also say that obviously fair play to Onslaught. He showed up in the Champions League. It's his first season. He barely made a signing here. That doesn't necessarily count. So actually no signing at all, since he wasn't even playing. So the fact that he showed up in this way, they've beat great teams in this Champions League, and they got knocked out on penalties. I don't think it's a huge reflection of Ancelotti's incompetence. I just thought Liverpool lost out to the better team on the night, on the tie. Liverpool also has a cup final, the League Cup final, on Sunday against Newcastle. You would favor them for that one. You just hope that maybe they didn't pick up any injuries with Trent or Konate having to go off, and you just hope that their mentality will be back and kick in for this game. It just reminds me on how difficult it is actually to win both the league and the Champions League. I think we'd say that the league is probably safely guaranteed for them. They just have to keep up their performances and not have a crazy catastrophe, So I think since the league is secure, you try to think on how many Premier League teams specifically won the league and Champions League and how long it's been. It's a rare occurrence. Not everyone is Real Madrid. I know Real Madrid did it. I know Bayern did it. I know Barca did it a few times. But if you look at the past few years, City won the treble. Yes, they won the FA Cup, League, and the Champions League. However, before that, the last team to do that was actually Manchester United, I believe, right? When they won the league and the Champions League. Chelsea won the Champions League twice. They did not win the league in those seasons at all. In fact, they were horrible in the leagues. They were not even title challengers. Man City tried to go all out and win all trophies, and they would always fall short, and normally happen that it would be in the Champions League. Pep literally won all the domestic competitions, the formidables. They did not win the Champions League. Pep won the league how many times, and they've only won the Champions League once to go with that. So like 6 and 7 years, they've only won the Champions League once to go with that. So it shows you how difficult the scale is to win both the league and the Champions League. And I think Liverpool were almost, it looks like, bound to have, a bad game. They've lost once in the league all season, and they also lost in the Champions League, but that was a nothing game, and they basically almost played their B team. So it didn't really count. So this looks like a performance that was bound to happen. And lastly, I want to touch on Salah. Salah, two stinkers. in both legs against PSG. Salah did not even show up once for Liverpool in 210 minutes against PSG, and I just thought that is bad for his Ballon d'Or. I don't think Salah's winning Ballon d'Or now at all. We know that Liverpool are, going to win the league, but unfortunately, you need, let's say, a bigger title, either a Champions League, or Salah should show up and Egypt should win the AFCON, and I don't think Egypt is winning anything. So unfortunately for me, I do not think Salah, gets to the pinnacles of Ballon d'Or in his very impressive season. I also feel like this is why, some people have a chat about Salah not necessarily being better than Hazard or something like that, because he can drift out of games and just be efficient. Yes, efficiency counts for some reason, but he didn't even have a good game. Even sometimes without goals and assists, you should show up. For example, this lead me to Barcelona. Barcelona just beat Benfica 3-1. Lamille got 2 goal contributions. Rafinha got 2 goal contributions, but Pedri won man of the match, and it's his second man of the match. And yes, we know the other one was Szczesny, but he said he will give Szczesny his man of the match from the previous first leg. However, Pedri, he's so involved in the play. He plays such good football that even without goals and assists, he can be appreciated. Yeah, so Liverpool get knocked out. Barca move on. We know that Liverpool and Barca was seen as a potential final. Inter also beat Feyenoord again to win on aggregate 4-1. They haven't really been tested in their defense. Well, they have been tested and they've been resolute. Inter have conceded in open play, besides Feyenoord's penalty, 1 goal in the UCL. That's extremely impressive defensive performance by Inzaghi and his men, and I think Inter are dangerous and they could go all the way to the final. Bayern, they're facing, is up next in the quarterfinals. Bayern and Inter is going to be a really, really good game. Kompany has got his team rolling, and just like Liverpool, they find their league table secure, and it looks like they will be able to get the league wrapped up. However, now it's about making strides in the Champions League, and I thought they were impressive after they beat Leverkusen 5-0 on aggregate. Yes, of course, Leverkusen had a red card in the first game, and they had Wirtz injured in the second game, but I think Kompany has got his team ticking now, and he will fancy his chances to get to the final with Bayern. I just feel like Inzaghi is a better manager than Kompany, and he'll have a solution for Bayern Munich, and I do think Inter will beat Bayern going forward. Big night again tonight, as I think shocks are on the cards. I think Dortmund will get eliminated by Lille, and we have to be careful of Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid at home. Atletico are going to be a nuisance for Real Madrid. Yes, Real Madrid always, look like they have the firepower, but if they can't get it together like Liverpool couldn't, Atletico Madrid will definitely score against them, and I do think, they will have the advantage of playing at home for the second leg, which is a huge thing for me. So I am really fearing for Real Madrid, as I believe that they could be knocked out. We know they haven't had a perfect season as well. They can be subject to losses and poor performances, but people will say this is Real Madrid. This is Real Madrid in the Champions League, different gravy. I don't know. I just think Atletico Madrid is extremely underrated this season, and they're looking dangerous. Alvarez is having a great season. I think he's having his best season, even when he won all those trophies for City, Argentina in that 1 year. I just feel like, he's showing up as a real number 9 and the target man for Atletico Madrid. So that's going to be a big game. I think chances of Arsenal losing this game are insane. I think they should actually rotate. They have a 7-1 lead. They can rotate. I think Arteta can rest some players to also try at least get back on some sort of title challenge in the league. So they should be safe. However, Aston Villa as well just need to be a little careful. Club Brugge can be a good team, but a 3-1 lead, taking it back to Villa Park at home, they should be secure and already in the quarterfinals. Yeah, with that being said, that's my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.